Welcome to the third video of Arch Linux installation series. Last time we complete adding internet connection and install Windows Manager on the base installation. We will continue working on that. It may look less scary compared to the previous two videos, as we have a GUI on the Arch Linux. We don't need to work on the terminal alone here. Working with Arch Linux in this video will be much more like working with those on Windows, Mac, or Linux distribution like Ubuntu or Red Hat. Like last time, I add the table of content in the beginning of the video, as most of the required stuff are installed in the previous videos. You can install these stuff by your own order. Maybe except for the first one, it's better to install the add-on first before moving to the other areas. If you install Arch Linux on the host, there's no need to install the VirtualBox add-on. I'm sure you already know that, but do remember to install all the drivers for them to work properly. Arch Linux is about making choices and create your own OS. But if I use it as my main PC, I may be worried about getting into troubles because I'm not fully aware of the choices. I guess that's why Arch Linux is really good to use it as your desktop for your personal PC, but not so much to be used in a production server. Anyway, you can always go to the links and Google for what you want if you have further needs that on your PC. Alright, let's get started. Alright, install the VirtualBox add-on is the first step we need to do in this video. If you already install a Windows Manager but you are not able to log in, you can always switch back to the terminal. First of all, a warning, do not use the ISO method. I tried and end up getting the VirtualBox add-on with the ISO method, but I'm not able to load it in the startup screen. There is an error message when you start booting up the VirtualBox. Maybe it's just me or a few people on the internet that have issues with it. If you know the proper way of installing it with the VirtualBox ISO, please do let me know in the content. The way I go for is to install the host core and also the VirtualBox host utility with Pacman. When it's done, you just need to reboot it and log into the GUI mode. When you are in the GUI login page, switch it to XFCE and then log in with your password. If the password is correct, you should be able to get into the graphic interface. In the graphic interface, you can start testing the VirtualBox add-on feature. One of the things that we can test is the clipboard sharing feature between the host and the VirtualBox machine. Moving on, we can enrich the window experience by installing a few apps here. First of all, Chromium, the open source version of Google Chrome and also Microsoft Edge. There's a good thing about the package manager. You don't need to go to the website and download the install package. You can install it with Pacman. Once it's installed, it will show on your Windows menu. Next is the tape completion. It's very handy if you use the terminal a lot, and it is recommended on the Arc Linux wiki page. What it does, like the name suggests, is to autocomplete the line by pressing the tab button. If you ever have any experience with Linux, this should be one of the most common features that you use. Again, we can use Pacman to install it and then test it by pressing the tab button on the keyboard after typing a few characters. It should work with commands, files, and also package names on Pacman. The next I can think of is Office Suite. I think most of us need one. Um, of course, we can use Google Suite, but it is always good to use a local client. There should be no difficulties installing the LeanBrain Office. Enable it with Pacman, and it should show on your program menu when it's done. Next, an NTP. You may not notice it, but most OS synchronize their clocks with the NTP. To enable this on Arch Linux, install an NTP client, and then update the server list. Finally, you need to enable it as a service so that it will run every time when you start the machine. Next is the firewall. IP table is one of the popular ones. I may not go through the details here, except the installation. You can always check the screen cap showing on this video. It's a little bit complicated to include everything in this video. We may make a separate one to show you how to configure it properly on a Linux machine. Next, Thunderbird email client. Again, nothing really difficult if you understand Pacman and the name of the package. Maybe the hard part is the email setup. There should be a lot of video covering this subject. If you encounter issues, do let me know. I can provide more details like the SMTP or the IMAP, which are the required address that you need to fill in, as well as your credentials. But other than that, you should be able to Google a lot of information from the internet and also YouTube. My next thing is Task Manager. I don't use it very often on Linux as much as I was on Windows. Usually I'll just kill the process instead. But anyways, good to have a good GUI to look at the running processes. Finally, a calculator. That's the last one of the last thing I want to add on my Windows. Most of the users online recommend a tool called Calculator, if I pronounce it correctly. So I picked this one. Nothing really fancy, but it does the work and I like it. Alright, it should be the end of the video. We picked and installed a few necessary packages to enhance our Arch Linux experience. Compared to other Linux distribution, when most of the package are installed on Arch Linux, we can choose which ones to be installed. This gives us a complete control to our device. I think this should bring to an end of the Arch Linux series. Starting from here, it will be quite similar to those other Linux distribution where we installed and configure the stuff based on our needs. I think the videos that I create cover most of the necessary part for using the Arch Linux. If I ever have a spare PC and want to do more complex stuff like gaming, I may create another video just to try out and record about my experience there. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.